One of the most important things that you should never forget, no matter what you go through in this life, is that this is a hell room. Never ever forget that. Whether things are going well for you or not, no, things might be going well for you right now, but don't ever forget that this is a hell room. The reason why it's important to keep that in mind so that you actually learn how to deal with the demons of this realm. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday. They were telling me that there are people that they work with. These people are always gossiping about them. These people make fun of them, comment on their looks, and that is hurting them. So they were telling me that, you know what, I'm going to be like, one day they're gonna see how evil I am. I'm going to attack one of them. And I was like, you don't realize what is happening. You know what demons want more than anything? It's for you to be like them. Demons want to turn you into a demon. That's what they want. You see, what this hell realm wants is for you to be under its control. It wants to control your emotions. It wants you to respond the same way that the people that it's controlling are responding. That's what the hell realm wants. Never, and I want you to keep this in mind, no matter what, never go down to a level of a demon. No matter what. No matter what a demon says, never do that. If a demon says you're ugly, don't be like, you're also ugly. Have you seen this? No, you're lost. By default, you have lost. Have you seen yourself? Do you think you're intelligent? Do you think No, you are losing. You must be able to respond to demons, treat them like demons. I'm not saying be Jesus, don't be Jesus. A demon deserves to be treated like a demon because it's a demon. But never go on the level of a demon. Because that brings you know what that does? Even if you're operating at a high level of consciousness, that kind of make you, it actually brings you down to their level. And it might actually become hard for you to reach the level that you were at again. Like, you can bring your level of consciousness down. That is why you must never, at any point in your life, allow emotions to control you. Emotions are a product of this place. They are a product of this realm. Your ego is a product of this realm. Never ever respond from anger. You are in a hell realm. There will be demons who will always be trying to bring you down. They will always be demons. Like, there's no way you can avoid it. Some of y'all feel like targeted individuals because you are being targeted. It feels like the whole world is against you, and you're like, why? Everywhere you go, it doesn't matter. There will always be people who are actually against you, who are like watching your every move, and you don't understand, and they are making comments about you. And sometimes you doubt yourself. You're like, there must be something wrong with me. That is no. You are in a hell room. You are being watched. I keep on telling you that stop thinking that reality is what it seems. It's not. You are dealing with all kinds of demons, bro. And actually, if you are on the right path, you actually see that if you are actually like having like demons, in your own life, that are trying to discourage you, like it's much easier to see if you are on the right path than to see if you are on the wrong path. If you're in the wrong path, a lot of people are going to agree with you. No one is going to judge you. But if you're on the right path, a lot of people ain't going to agree with you, and a lot of people are going to judge you. And what they like to do is to attack your ego. What they like to do is to try to make you angry. Why? So that you will go down to that level. I remember I told you about this scene from the Boondock. This guy was fishing. He wanted to attack the Freeman family. So when he met Robert Freeman, he told him about crabs before he attacked him. He was like, one thing about crabs, because he wasn't. The thing is, he was putting crabs in the bucket. Like he was not even looking for fish. And Robert Freeman was surprised. Like, what? Why are you putting crabs inside the bucket instead of fish? And he's like, crabs, when they see another crab trying to get out of the bucket, they will try to bring it down. So he wanted Robert Freeman to feel like that's what he did to one of his family members, which wasn't even something that he really did. That's how human beings are. If you're operating at a high level of consciousness, they automatically want to bring you down. I remember last night I was having a conversation with someone. So dude, it's calling me a negro. He's white. It's calling me a negro. He's saying that black people are dumb. That's why they're not achieving, anything in life. Oh, your girlfriend beat you. Why did your girlfriend bite you? And I'm paying attention to everything that the guy is saying. Some people ask me, why don't you, why don't you try to offend him? Why don't you, talk about things that are going to offend him? Damn, I like this place. Because obviously to him, it's not about the truth, He just wants to offend. And I was like, you guys are still offended by things that people say. Like, are you... If someone says you are a Negro, why should you be offended? If someone says you are stupid, why should you be offended? If someone tries to attack your character, why should you be offended? Because the moment you allow them to offend you, that's when you will try to offend them back. And you will be playing at their level by default. Right? So someone calls you the N-word and you are like, okay, what can I say to this person? Oh, you're a what trash. No, stop that. What really matters at the end of the day is the highest truth, and that's what you must focus on as a conscious being in this room. You will deal with demons, whether you like it or not. There will always be demons, and you must be able to handle whatever these demons say to you. Right? You must be at a level of consciousness where no matter what a demon says to you, you are able to handle it. And it doesn't affect you in any way. Demons are desperate, desperate to offend. They're so desperate that they want to offend you. They will try to use anything to offend you, right? If your shoes are dirty, a demon can actually try to offend you using your shoes. Your shoes are dirty. How you don't wash your shoes? Really? You don't wash your shoes, dude? Look at how old you are. You are 20, you're 25, but you don't wash your shoes? Dude, come on, you don't wash. Learn how demons operate. You got stabbed, dude. You got stabbed. And you didn't fight back. You got stabbed, dude. Learn. You're in a hell room. You will constantly encounter demons. Some people get offended if someone maybe says something negative about me in the comment, or saying something negative about them in the comment. You're probably, this guy who does this, who does that, you are this and that. And they even ask me to delete some comments. I'm like, listen, this is not the only realm that exists. And in every realm, there will be demons that you're going to deal with. If you're offended by comments, imagine what's going to happen in realms where you are forced to confront, these demons. Because a comment, you can easily avoid it. You see a negative comment, you're like, you know what, let me just skip this comment. But what if you're forced to deal with it? I remember when I was still living in the village, I lived with someone who will wake up in the middle of the night and say the most painful things that you can say to anyone. Someone that I looked up to, someone that I grew up thinking that was the member of my family, saying things that are so offensive, bro. Your mother is a witch. Your grandmother is a witch. You'll never amount to anything in life. You'll suffer until you die. You'll never get anything that belongs to me. And you have to listen to this person talk for hours. I'm talking hours. I'm not just talking about they just say this and you're not even responding to them. They're in a room next to yours. You have to hear what they're saying. And at that time, nothing is going well for you in life. And you're listening to this person. You wake up in the morning. Sit outside. This person is still talking. You hear them. Listen, in this room, you can't find yourself having to deal with that. If you allow yourself to go down to the levels where demons are operating, you'll automatically lose. Like I used to listen to this person like say whatever, bro, and I would not respond. Yes, there are days where I almost lost it. And you know what would have happened? I would have ended up in jail and the demons would have laughed at me. There are days where I felt like, you know what, I want to offend this person. I want to tell them how weak they are. What would have happened is that I would have ended up regretting what I say to them. Because that's not me. I'm not operating at that level anymore. I'm too conscious to call someone a racist. I'm too conscious to call someone ugly. I'm too conscious to call someone stupid. Oh, you're stupid, that's why you don't understand what I'm saying and all of that. You have to operate at a level where there's no demon that can offend you. There are people who are actual demons, bro, in this room. Stop thinking that everyone is the same and stop trying to fix people. Because you offending someone, because they're offending you, comes from you trying to make them better. You're like, you gotta understand that you're also not perfect. You're kind of like trying to make them better. No, don't care about that. They aren't trying to be better. It's a demon, bro. You're dealing with a demon. A demon ain't trying to be better. Remember, because we are in a hell room, what the demons want from us is, Lush, it's for us to produce negative energy. We don't win by preventing these demons from trying to make us produce negative energy. We win by not producing it no matter what they try to do. That's it. Like you reach a level where no matter what a demon says, no matter what a demon does, you're not producing negative energy because you understand what is wanted from you. So you're not giving it, you're not feeding this demon. That is growth. So no matter what level you find yourself in, you will never lose. No matter what kind of demon you deal with, you'll never lose. We are in a hell room, and sometimes it might feel like, it's just talk, right? It's just about like talking about it, like it's a hell room. No, you are actually in a hell room. There's a reason why you don't feel okay. There's a reason why you feel like you're suffering. There's a reason why you feel like things will never change and become better. Listen, it's a hell room. It's not even because sometimes people look at this room and be like, if only I worked harder, this and that. It's not even about that. There will always be people who are suffering, and that's enough proof that we're actually in a hell room. There will always be innocent people who are suffering because we are in a hell room. There will always be innocent people who are being tortured by privileged people because we are in a hell room. There will always be those who are privileged enough to be doing to be favored by life, who will be bullying those who are not privileged. Why? Because we're in a hell room, right? I can handle what the guy that just the guy that got shot last week, like the things that people are saying are racist, the things that he was saying. And I can actually see the truth in, like, I can actually see what he was trying to say, because I'm not allowing myself to be offended. Now, there's some people who are celebrating because what happened to him happened to him. They're celebrating. I'd be like, if he was wrong, if he was really a bad person, what makes you better? What really makes you better? Don't you feel like your actions are bringing you down to that person's level? Don't you feel like at this moment you are actually being a demon? Because you are happy that something bad has happened to someone. Ain't demons happy when something bad happens to someone? We must escape this trap of us versus them. It's a trap. What you must try to do is seek the highest truth no matter what. In every interaction that you have, try to seek for the highest truth. In everything that you see, try to seek for the highest truth. I'm seeing cows and donkeys eating together. I must learn something from that. What is true? I see goats too, humans passing. What am I learning from that? Maybe I'm learning that some animals are being treated better than other animals. Some animals are allowed to roam around. Some animals are in cages and they're suffering, and it's not because they've done anything bad. And these animals that are allowed to roam around, it's not because they are better than those animals. You know what I'm saying? But try to figure out what the highest truth is. In any situation, like, you have to be this person whose main focus is figuring out what the highest truth is. Because I think that's the only way we free ourselves as conscious beings. Like, truth must be your highest value. I've been telling you guys that one of my favorite moves, today is windy, so I had to record using my camera because of the external mic. It's very windy. I wanted to record with my phone. One of my favorite movies is The Book of Clarence. The Book of Clarence. I remember after Clarence was crucified, he said something that I felt was really important. He was like, we're all just men and women, and none of us don't know what we're doing. And by the time we figure it out, it's too late. There were some people who he was crucified with. They were saying, like, the most hateful things, right? I remember one of the guys was saying, God, kill all these people, burn them with fire. Listen, what you are doing is playing at the level of these demons. When you fill your heart with hatred, you are playing at the level of these demons. You are automatically losing. You are giving this realm power. It thrives off negativity. You must understand that in the end, you might end up being crucified. Listen, man, negativity rules in this realm. Negative shit is gonna happen in this realm. And no matter how hard you try, you can't change that. I've been telling you that we have never been able to make this world better because it ain't supposed to be better. You know, suffering is not a bug, suffering is a future. You think of all the negative stuff in the world and you're like, oh, we could solve these things by doing this. No, we're not solving these things. These things will still find a way to come back. You could try to get rid of slavery. Slavery will still find its way back. Everything negative will find its way back. And you must know that. Your job is to reach the highest truth. It's not to operate at the level that this realm wants you to operate. There's a reason why you feel hatred, you feel anger when this realm tries to offend you. It's so that you can react in a negative way and feed this realm. You get what I'm saying? Stop feeding this thing. You must reach a level of consciousness where you're not offended by anything, because that's what it's trying to do in the first place. You must understand that this realm is not making you experience some things by accident. No. It's trying to get a reaction out of you. It's trying to get loose out of you. Can you imagine if you operated at a level where you're like, I mean, I don't care, man. Okay, maybe what happened is bad, but should I really be offended? Should I respond? Should I be mad about it? Or should I be like, it is what it is? And go on with my life. Focus on what is important to me. Focus on what I love. Isn't that what is really important at the end of the day? Focus on protecting my energy. Because energy is what this realm wants in the first place. It wants, and it doesn't want positive energy, it wants negative energy. It wants me to be a negative person. It wants me to feed it. I like Red Bull because, like, sometimes when I'm drinking Red Bull, I don't know, I have a lot of energy, right? The problem is that the battery is low. Like, I wanted this talk to be much longer, but let's see how long it's going to last. No matter what you go through in life, always remember that this is a hell realm. Never ever forget that. If you forget that, you're not going to respond the way you should respond. I know that a lot of people who are good, who ended up in jail because they didn't realize they were in a hell room. Or maybe they did realize they were in a hell room, but at the moment when they did whatever they did that landed them in jail, they weren't thinking that we're in a hell room, right? So you could be in a place and someone starts a fight with you. You have a gun. They start a fight with you over nothing. You have a gun. Pull out the gun. Because of pride, you're like, I'm shooting this person. Because you've already pulled the gun out, right? And you end up in prison. You ain't even, like, you're not even a bad person. You weren't even gonna intentionally start a fight with anyone. But if it came into your mind that you're actually in a hell room, you'd be like, This idiot is saying what they're saying because we're in hell room. It is what it is. Continue, idiot. Sometimes you must laugh at these idiots. You must laugh at these demons. You will win. These demons, you know what they do? They spend a lot of time trying to bring, like they spend a lot of time trying to get to you. Like I said, demons know you. In this realm, you are dealing with demons that actually know you. They know if they call you ugly, you're gonna react. You're gonna respond. You're gonna be offended. You're not gonna sleep at night thinking about what you've been called. They called you fat. You're not gonna sleep at night thinking about what you've been called. And that is why I sometimes tell people on my Discord server that try not to be offended by everything. Realize that there will be demons everywhere. Yes, I will try to block all the people who are being offensive intentionally, so that the Discord server will become what I want it to become. At the end of the day, I want the Discord server to be a place where people can express themselves truly, not a place where people are fighting over stupid things and all of that. Like, it doesn't help. Do you get what I'm saying? So obviously I'm going to block all the people who are speaking, like, who are causing fight on the Discord server, because we are trying to express ourselves as honestly as we can, and we are trying to reach higher levels of consciousness, because that's what matters in the end. But don't be offended because someone said something that you don't agree with, or someone tried to offend you. They don't even know you. They will be blocked. And always tell me if there are people who are trying to offend other people, because that's not what the Discord server is about. They will definitely be blocked, but learn to laugh at these people who are operating at the level of demons. Learn to not give them your attention. Learn to not give them your loosh. They will try their best. Trust me, they will try their best. This is the kind of realm that we live in. There are people in our families who are trying their best to offend us or to make us feel negative emotions that will produce loosh. I remember when I was dealing with something similar to that, my cousin and my sister said something that I thought I should never forget. They were like, if you conquer this mountain, you can conquer anything. If there's a person next to your room who talks about you from 1 to 6 until you wake up, actually, that you can hear all the time and you can't even sleep because you're listening to him, you can conquer anything in the world. Like, you reach a level of consciousness where you're not even offended by anything. If this person is saying you don't deserve to succeed in life, you don't deserve anything in life, you'll never amount to anything in life, you'll suffer until you die, your parents will suffer until they die, your siblings are going to suffer, and you see that this is hatred. You have not done anything bad to this person, for them to feel that way about you. In fact, you've been treating this person well. So that's it. Like that kind of like made me realize what I was dealing with. Because at first it just felt like, this person is just ignorant. Like, no, man, there will be demons that you deal with in this room. There will be people who are possessed, who are going to say the most negative things about you or to you so that you can respond and then you lose. If you're not grounded enough, you are definitely going to lose. What can we expect in a realm like this? Always keep in mind that you're in a real realm. Always keep in mind that you will be attacked. Especially if you are a highly conscious individual. Whether you are a good person or not, whether you want what's best or not, you will constantly get attacked. That will happen to you only because you're in a hell room. It's important to focus on your own personal growth. I remember last week I was having a conversation with someone about growth. I was like, if you reach a level where there were things that used to bother you but they don't bother you anymore, that's growth. In fact, I believe that enlightenment is you not being bothered by anything. Because the hell realm wants you to be bothered. Can you imagine if you actually reach the level of consciousness where nothing actually bothers you? You're like, yeah, it happened, but it doesn't bother me for real. I'm not bothered. Because it's about you producing lush in the first place. So you're not producing any lush. So no matter what happens, you're still good. You're like, it is what it is, man. Like, why should I be stressing about this? Yeah, she dumped me, but why should I be stressing? Why should that be a big deal? Why should that be a problem? I remember telling you that the right mentality to have in this realm is to tell yourself that you don't actually own anything here. Like, try not to be possessive. Try to not have an ego. You need to reach a level of consciousness. Listen, well, even if the worst happens, you're so free that it doesn't affect you the way that it will affect everyone else. Maybe you go to a hospital and they tell you have cancer, and you're like you're not stressing. I have cancer. Another thing that I've realized about this realm is that if you don't stress about things, they actually change, especially things that you don't like. If you don't stress about these things, they do change. You can actually go to a hospital and they say you got cancer, and then you don't even think about it. You don't make it a big deal. And then you go back a month later and they say you don't have cancer. I'm telling you, these are things that I know. The problem is when you actually stress. I remember I told you about this story. So when I was like maybe 7 or 8, I had only one ball, right? Like one ball. I remember my mom took me to hospital because I was sick. I had flu. And she wanted the nurses to check if I only have one, because she was concerned. She was like, he's not gonna have kids because he's only got one ball. So she wanted the nurses to check. So they checked, right? And they told her the bad news, that no, your son only got one. And I only had one. I knew that I only had one, because I knew that you're supposed to have two. So like, I only have one. I've never had two. When we were walking back home, I didn't care, but when I look at my mom's face, I was like, she cares. But I don't. Like, to me, it doesn't matter. But she does care. I only cared because she cared. But to me, it didn't matter. Like, it meant nothing. It is what it is. I got one. Fuck it. Right? When I got home, I forgot that she even cared. Right? It didn't matter to me. I just decided to go and play with my friends, have fun. And my dad called me. He was like, come here. Because she was concerned, right? And I was like, let's go. And it was like, I want to check if you got 1 or 2 balls. And I was like, what the hell? I don't even care about this. He was like, no, let me. And then he checked and I had 2. From that day, from that day forward, I had 2. I've been in situations where I was told that I was really sick. And I was like, nah, I'm good. It didn't matter to me. Like, in fact, I should make videos where I tell you about these things. Like, if you don't give this room your energy, you automatically win. There are things that are only true because you are saying they are. I have to repeat that. There are things that are actually true because you are deciding that, oh, this is true. Because of how you feel about these things. You start to make them true by how you feel about them. Right? You give your energy to these things. You are powering the matrix. And this is something that a lot of people don't even realize. Like, we are the ones who have enough power to power the matrix itself. It really does rely on us. What you decide is true and you feel is true becomes true because of how you feel about it. Now, I'm not talking about the hell realm, whether we're in the hell realm or not, because you might say, well, I must believe that we're not in the hell realm, because if I believe it, no, I'm talking about the things that are happening within this realm, right? You have to understand that you are also powerful. You also have your own superpowers, right? Within this realm. Just because you have your superpowers doesn't mean that you are not in the hell realm. You are in the hell realm, you just have superpowers. You just have the power to say, this is true, this is not true, this is real, this is not real. This is powerful, this is not powerful. When I was growing up, I didn't understand why, if pastors pray for some people, they fall and they start screaming and they start rolling. I used to think some of them were acting. I mean, some of them were acting, of course. But some of them, when I observed them, I was like, they're not even acting. And I realized something very important. They truly believe that they are dealing with a man of God, with the true man of God. Like, they don't even have a doubt that the guy who's laying his hands on them is a true man of God and he has power. They don't doubt that at all. So because of that, because of what they believe, because of what they are making their truth to be, the pastor has power on them. That is why they emphasize that you must believe. Us who don't believe, we're not affected by these things. I can go to any church in the world, any church, bro. If you watch my videos, you have to understand this. I've always been against the Christian God, like 100%. Meaning that if there's someone who's supposed to be having demons, it's me. But I can go to any church in the world, you won't see me rolling on the floor. You won't see me falling. Why? The truth is simple. Because I don't believe any of that stuff. That's the simplest answer. I don't believe any of this stuff. I'm not giving this stuff power. That's the reason why they say you must believe. You give things power when you believe in them. I remember I made a video on TikTok talking about changing the past, right? I was like, it might not seem possible to actually change the past, right? Like, how do you actually change the past? And I was like, what if there are things that have already changed in the past, but you criticize yourself for actually realizing that? So you tell yourself that, oh, I just forgot, right? Oh, it's the Mandela effect. This reminds me of a video of this other guy talking about like us living in a simulation. The title of the video is when you're obviously in the simulation, and there's this guy who is like in a simulation, like actually like he's experiencing things that are showing him that it's in a simulation, but he always have an excuse for this room. Like he doesn't want to admit that it's a simulation. He always blames himself. So you hear voices, right? That was my favorite part. Like somehow the guys who were controlling the simulation, they accidentally switched on the mic and he was able to hear what they were saying. They're like, oh, he feels like this and he feels like that. And he was like, what are all these voices that I'm hearing in my head? Oh, I know what's going on. I'm suffering from schizophrenia. You know what I'm saying? Like he's always blaming himself. Listen. If you stop giving energy to the negative stuff completely, this negative stuff are not going to have power. It might get to a point where they stop existing in your reality because you're not giving them power at all. Like they actually stop existing. if you are fat and everyone is talking about you being fat and that's a big deal to you, every time when someone says you're fat, it's a big deal. If you reach a level of consciousness where you're like, okay, it's fine. It is what it is. You are saying what you're saying about me. You're fat. It's fine. They say what they say. It's fine. It gets to a point where it really doesn't offend you. You'll see that this whole thing is not even real. They will stop telling you that you're fat because it doesn't offend you. I'm telling you, they will literally stop. Like, no one is gonna say you're fat, and you'll be like, maybe I'm no longer the way that I used. No. It's because this is not real, and it just wants your energy. Things can change if you stop bothering yourself about these things. Like, that's the trick, is to stop bothering yourself about the negative stuff that you don't want. That is the only way. If there's something that you don't like about this place, stop bothering yourself about it. There's this song called Old Ways by King Loss. He said something that I feel is interesting. It's like, it's called what? Is it Old Crown, actually. It's not even, it's Old Crown, yes. I think it's Old Crown. He said, all of this is an illusion, nothing is real. Don't believe anything, don't take anything seriously. I love that song, like the way he says it. Like you could feel it that that is actually the truth. It's like nothing is actually real. Don't take anything seriously. All this stuff is an illusion. And sometimes you can see that. Like sometimes you can see that all this stuff is an illusion, but sometimes you make it real. Sometimes you take it seriously. Sometimes you give these illusions power. I remember I told you about this movie called Beautiful Mind, about this guy. He was like this great scientist who had schizophrenia. So he used to see people who don't exist, and he used to work with these people. But they proved to him that no, they are not real. These people are not even real. And after he admitted to himself that they're not real, even though he saw them all the time, he continued to do his work, and he won a Nobel Prize, right? So they asked him after he won that, do you still see those people? And he was like, yeah. And they're like, how do you deal with them? And he was like, I pretend they're not there. You know, I stopped taking them seriously. I stopped giving them power. The moment I give them power, the moment they become powerful. So if I pretend like they're not there, then they're not there, because they're not. They're not real. It's just all of it is an illusion. But if I'm making it real, if I'm letting it torture me, then it will. So as conscious beings in this realm, we must learn how to deal with demons. Understand that there are actual demons in this place. There are actual demons who genuinely hate you. Like, you'll never understand their level of hatred towards you, because you don't feel that level of hatred. You're not a hater. You've never hated anything. I mean, maybe you've only hated that you're in the hell room, but you don't understand how hateful some beings can be. So always operate at the highest level, no matter what. And try your best to not be offended by those who are operating at low level of consciousness. Because if you allow them to offend you, you are giving them power. Like, you are automatically giving them power. If I'm offended by a comment on YouTube, I'm automatically, whether I'm realizing it or not, I'm automatically giving whoever made that comment power, whether I realize it or not. Like, it's something that's gonna happen automatically. But what if I'm never offended by anything? What if the most important thing to me is the highest truth? That's spiritual evolution. That's you stopping identifying with the ego. That's you going meta. Focusing on the metaphysics of things, actually. Because nothing is what it seems at the end of the day. Sometimes people tell me that they feel like we can make the world better. I tell them that we can make it much easier to communicate with other people, to travel. We can have better TVs, technology. Cars, planes, but that doesn't mean that our experience is going to be better. This battery is still not low. That's crazy. I thought the battery is going to be low by now. It doesn't mean that our experience, our collective experience, is going to be better. What's going to be better are the things that are keeping us in this realm. Meaning that this realm is going to be better at keeping us here. So the prison is going to become better, but the prisoner, if he's not doing the right thing, is not going to learn how to escape. It's much harder to escape prisons now than it was in the early 60s. You know what I'm saying? Because they're working on making it harder to escape. So if you are not working on yourself, trying to figure out what is really going on, it might even get to a point where it's actually possible to escape. It might actually get to a point where it's really impossible to escape. Like, you just can't, because you have been ignorant for too damn long. Now you're stuck in the matrix forever. Reincarnating over and over again and constantly forget. Like, you've given the virus too much power. So now it controls you on every level. Because at the time when it actually did matter, you decided that it didn't. It didn't matter to get rid of the virus. Hold on. Sure. My the dreadlocks like Maluka, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know because I stay the other side and I usually go to Joburg.
We style there.
No, it means I'm gonna come here because yesterday, now good can't.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come here on Saturday. I'll come with the pictures.
No problem.
No, thanks, my brother. Sure. Kind of, but not really. It's just because with a vlog you kind of like have to record different clips, so it's not really vlogging. I'm just like it's just one clip basically where I'm just talking, you know. So it's not like really vlogging. But no, I'll come through, my brother. Sure. Now I think I might come to these guys so that they can, because I have to spend money to go to town, right? I have to go to town to do that. This guy's gonna get hit by a car. And I see him here all the time. So I have to spend money to go to town. So if I can just come to these guys, and then I would have saved money. I didn't know they do that. But I'll show them the pictures and hopefully they'll do it as well as the other guy. Battery still not low. But yo, thank you all guys for watching this video until the end. Like the video, tell me what you think about the video. Join the Discord server. I will post the comment and pin it, the link actually, and pin the comment. I think we have more than 200 people on the Discord server now. I mean, that's great, bro. Like, there's a lot of people that we can communicate with now. So thank you all guys.